Hello! This is SK Williams, and while I'm releasing this after most people have finished celebrating Christmas, according to the Julian calendar and for our Eastern Orthodox friends, Christmas has yet to occur, and will occur in January. So, ahead of time, I hope that everyone has a happy Christmas who is Orthodox, and that everyone has had a happy Christmas who has already had it. With that said, most people are still off for the holiday break, and this video is not too terribly late. I had intended this year to do a long video on the history and origin of Christmas. That, however, was interrupted with various events in my life, including health issues. So, I'll still do a video this year on the history and origin of Christmas, but it will be short, and not really go into any detail, and not give as much information as I would have liked. For instance, I was hoping to give a lot of citations to back up what I'm about to say, but that won't happen. Instead, I will reserve that for next year. In 2018, I will do a longer special on the origin of Christmas and its history. Because I intended to do this as a sort of duet with Easter, or perhaps a trilogy if I include Halloween, I will also include the same pattern for Easter. While I have plenty of time to do the Easter one, I will only do a short one for 2018, much like this one is a short one. And we'll do a longer one in 2019. With that said, I'll get along to it. Famously, Christmas began as a pre-Christian pagan holiday. What holiday exactly is sometimes a bit difficult to pin down, but it seems the most popular claim is that it was the pagan winter solstice celebration, or Saturnalia, for the Romans. And sometime in the 300s AD, Emperor Constantine declared it would be a Christian holiday, or, alternately, the church itself decided to make it a Christian holiday, either to act as a conversion tool to help win converts over from paganism, or to make life easier on people who were pagan but who had already converted to Christianity. The trouble with this is that, even though this is a well-known fact, and yes, there are plenty of Christian websites who admit to this truth, there's no real historical information that we have that supports this conclusion. The truth is, Christmas doesn't seem to have originated with a pagan holiday at all. I know that this is a well-worn story, it is something that's passed along, and again, yes, I know there are even Christian websites that admit this, but there's no historical data to confirm it. In fact, most of the things that we do know contradict this narrative. For example, Saturnalia did not fall on the winter solstice. It actually fell on December 17th. We also know that the church, in the first 3 or 4 centuries of its existence, actually eschewed everything pagan. They weren't adopting pagan things right and left in order to, bring pagans in. Or rather, they castigated everything that was pagan, so it would be odd if they adopted a pagan holiday. Really, Christmas owes its origin to a man named Julius Sextus Africanus, who, contrary to the popular narrative, actually lived in the mid-2nd century AD. He wrote a chronology of the world, and he calculated when the Earth was created based upon biblical genealogies. He had decided that the Earth was created in March, and that Adam himself was created on March 25th. From there, he decided that Jesus, who was the new Adam, would have entered the world on March 25th himself. But he didn't think like a lot of modern people. Entering the world doesn't mean you are born, it means you are conceived. 9 months after March 25th, of course, is December 25th, and that is the date that Julius Sextus Africanus decided to assign for the birth of Jesus. His idea actually took a long time to gain traction, and, again, contrary to the popular narrative, was actually only really incorporated in the church calendar in the 400s AD. Which is after the time of Constantine. So really, Christmas had nothing whatsoever to do with pagan holidays. And even the pagan customs that we have, like Christmas trees and such like, don't really start with Christmas, with pagans at all. They begin with later peoples who adopted them. Now, there are a few pagan customs, like the wreath, and I'll get into that in next year's special. But things like Christmas trees were invented in Germany in the 1500s by Protestants, and they weren't really pagan at all. So, really, this claim that Christmas is this pre-Christian pagan holiday, while it is certainly common and popular to make that claim, it's really not actually true. Well, I'm not going to say much more on the topic now. As I said, this video is actually late, and I didn't have time to properly compile it, so I'll just do a longer one next year. Until then, thank you, God bless, and goodbye.